Amazing. Tripping in the 60s, though, you tell stories of amazing people that you've played with. From Scott McKenzie to the Mamas and the Papas, to John Sebastian, the Love and Spoonful. What was it like? Being one of these people. Like, do you feel?
It's just like being you, Nick, and it's just like being every person that's listening to this program right now. We are who we are. We live in the moment. It's just life is life, reality is reality, and you just take it as it comes. And I didn't set out to be a singer or a performer or world famous or anything. I just took each moment as it came, and I had fun with it. I love to have fun. In fact, my teachers one of the reasons my teachers wouldn't leave me in my classroom is because I made everybody laugh. And she used to say, Barry, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. I said, I don't care why they're laughing, and I love to laugh. They can laugh at me if they want to and think I'm stupid. I don't care. I don't care what they think. It's none of my business what people think of me. I just live in the moment and enjoy each moment, try to see the humor in it, and see the humor in myself. I'm 78 years old. Everything is heading south in my on my
you're
frame.
Good. You're just starting, Barry. You're just starting.
I got out of the shower the other day and caught a glimpse of myself in the full-length mirror we have in the doorway there. And it looked like an old wax Santa Claus left out on a hot summer day, everything is just drooping, big time.
Funny. Let me tell you, you have what so many people wish they had, and that is love in your heart, a youthful spirit. And I want to touch on the idea of spirit because, a little research, I believe you became a born-again Christian in the 70s. Correct me if I'm wrong. How has spirituality played into your life, fine sir?
Well, it's been excuse me, I got my morning frog going here.
Likewise.
Yeah, it's been quite an adventure, Nick. I saw in Christ some truth that I didn't see in other. I researched a lot of different things and got into Eastern religions and yoga and meditation and. Yes. But I saw in Christ something that I didn't see in anyone else, and that was this area of total forgiveness, that we are forgiven. Every human being in the world has been forgiven, in this gift of Christ. And the tragedy is that so few people know they've been forgiven, because it's all they hear from mainstream Christianity is condemnation and judgments, But the truth of it is everyone has been forgiven. Every knee, every tongue will confess that Christ is not just a few. And I saw in that there was they asked him what the greatest commandment was. And basically he just said to love God with all your heart, which is the first 4 commandments, and to love your neighbor as yourself, which is the next 6 commandments, And I saw in that simple bit of instruction, there's 2 pieces of instruction, love God, love your neighbor, the answer to the eve of destruction, And I thought, this is the answer I've been looking for. But I didn't want to be a Christian. I wanted to be like Christ, but I didn't want to be like all the Christians I'd seen on television and the people I knew. So I one night after struggling with it for probably 6 months, it came down to the line. And, once you've been busted by the truth, you've been busted. You can't fake it anymore. You can't go around and say, well, who really knows? Because I really knew that the answer was to love God and to love your neighbor. And Christ said, I'm telling you not just to love your friends. I'm telling you to love your enemies and to do good to those people who persecute you and abuse you,
Yes.
He said, even the crooks love their friends. He said, I'm telling you to love your enemies. Well, you never hear that preached in a church. So I sang in a lot of churches, but I just couldn't. I couldn't find that the teaching of total surrender, total. See, a guy asked me the other day, "Are you still walking with Jesus?" I said, "No, I don't walk with Jesus anymore." I said, "I walk in Christ." We live, breathe, move, have our being in Christ. He lives, moves, has his being in us. There's no separation. There's no Christ out there and me in here. It's no longer I that live, like Paul said. It's Christ that lives in me. And when I stand in that piece of truth, when I absolutely put my whole surrender into that truth. It's Christ living. It's Christ right now speaking these words through me to you. It's Christ in you right now hearing these words coming from me, you know. And once you reach that place of total surrender, all of a sudden reality itself becomes the hand of God. And I can see God in everything. I just blew my knee out, you know, over in Germany.
No.
And I got home, and my granddaughter says, "Well, Papa," she says, "you know, everything happens for a reason." Yeah, you know. And she says, "That happens so you'll slow down a little bit." And she was right, because if it hadn't blown out, I'd be out in the backyard right now, you know, shoveling gravel and digging ditches and moving stuff around, flowers. But I've just been 6 to 8 weeks on the road. I need to rest.
Yes.
So my knee blew out on me. So it's just reality's way of saying it's time to rest, Barry.